Hello guys, welcome to my channel Hima Education Made Easy. In our previous video, we have covered local variables, global variables, and I wish we have covered how to convert a local variable into a global variable. Right? In present video, we'll be discussing about Python data types. So here, in programming, data type is an important concept. Variables can store different types of data, and different types can do different things. Python has many inbuilt data types, under which we'll be having text types, numeric types, sequence type, mapping types, set types, boolean types, and binary types. So, in order to discuss those things, let me clear this previous session, and we'll be having text. So, under text, we'll be having a string, and under numeric, we'll be having an integer, float, and complex numbers. Under sequence, we'll be having a list, tuples, and range. Under mapping, we'll be having a dictionary, we'll be taking it as DICT. Under sets, we'll be having a set and a frozen set, whereas under booleans, we'll be having a bool. And then, in binary types, we'll be having bytes, byte arrays, and memory groups. Okay, these are the things we'll be having in a built-in data types. Okay, we can get the data type of any object by using the type of function. So here, in order to get any object data type, we need to have type type of. So in these brackets, if you mention any variable name, that variable belongs to which type will be coming to know. So before going to that, let me define a function x is equal to 20, and I want to know the type of x. So if I run this, I won't be able to get any sort of output because I'm not going to print this thing. So in order to have a print segment, in order to have an output, I'll be going to take print of x. Then if I run this, I'll be getting it as class of integer. If we want to specify the data type, we can use constructors, and in Python, the data type is set when we assign a value to a variable, right? So here, if we assign any value to x, it will automatically take it as whether string or integer or float or sequence or mapping or set, boolean. These things will automatically taken by Python. Right, so here I entered 20. It gave me class as an integer. So let me take, in place of 20, let me type hello Python. Okay, and I'm going to add print of x2. Okay, so that I'll be able to get what value it has taken in the output and what type of data it will be getting it as an output. So if I run this code, I'll be getting hello Python is an class of string. Okay, so it will come under category of text. Data type of text will be having it as a string. Now let me enter the value of x as 15.5, and let us see what data type it will be giving. Okay, so here it will give us a float data type. And now let me test. Here I'm going to use j in place of I in order to have a float or complex number, whereas in complex numbers we will be using I, where I is equal to, right, let me take a comment. Normally we'll be taking I square as -1, right? So here in place of I in Python, we will be using j. Okay, so let me see what it will print. So here it is a complex number. Okay, it will give us a complex number. Okay, so here, whereas in place of I, which is indeterminate, we'll be taking j over here. This is the simple thing we are going to change in here. And let us take, so here let me take a square bracket and let me define some things. Let me say apple, and then I'm going to take banana, and let me take cherry. And let me see which data type it belongs to. So as we have given sequence, so here under sequence it is of first type, which is list. Okay, let me change the brackets. Okay, so here I'm going to use C brackets and I'm going to run it. Then here the data type changed to a tuple. Okay, so similarly if I change these brackets to flower brackets, so let me take a curl bracket or flower bracket, we can call it as, and if we run it, it will be going under category of set. So under a sequence, list tuple can be having, list will be having a square bracket and tuple will be having a round bracket. And then in a set we'll be having a flower or curl bracket. Okay, then we'll be going to next thing, that is range. So let me define x as a range of 6, and let us see what output will it give. So here it is in range of 0 to 6 and it belongs to class of range. And let us see what is dictionary. Okay, so dictionary will assign a specified word to a specified values. So let us take an example called name as Ram, and then we'll be considering his age as 50. Okay, so let us see what output will it give. So here it taken under dictionary, under name it registered Ram as a name, and under his age it registered 50, and it belongs to a class of dictionary. So here we will be able to assign some names or some data to a variable. Okay, so we'll be discussing about differences between this list, tuple, range, and then set, frozen set, bytes, byte array, memory, view in our further coming classes. As of now, we'll need to have some, there is some difference between this type of data, that is sequence, mapping, set, boolean, binary type, and text. Okay, next we'll be going with another example. So let us go with frozen set. Okay, first we'll go with set and then we'll go with frozen set. Okay, so here I'm going to take the same things, apple, and then a banana, and then we'll be going with a cherry. Okay, so what it will give, the output as a set, and then here we are going to convert this set into a frozen set. Okay, so here I am going to type FROZEN, frozen set. So in order to put brackets for everything, you need to select a statement, and then if you click on curl round brackets, it will automatically get changed to round brackets. Okay, so here I am going to take everything or every thing what I have defined in set into a frozen set. Now I am going to run this thing. So here I am going to get a class type of a frozen set. Okay, now these things have been defined as a frozen set. Now we'll be seeing Boolean operations. Now we'll be moving to Boolean set and frozen set if we completed. So Boolean operations are normally will be having true or false, right? Now we'll see. So it is true belongs to Boolean operations. Let us try with false. False, and if we run it, then we'll be having false as a Boolean operation. So next we'll be moving with bytes. So for that, simply initially you need to mention a letter called B, and then in quotations you need to write hello or any type you want to, whatever you want to have. So it belongs to a class of bytes, and then we'll be moving with byte array. So now I'm going to redefine this X byte array of 5 or 6. 6 we have taken previously, so we'll be going with 6, and then we're going to run it. Then we'll be having, it belongs to a class of byte array. Okay, B, X by 0, these things I will be discussing in our further classes. So as of now we'll be seeing only the type of data it's taking, which type of data it's going to take as its default, whatever we enter it. So next we'll be going with memory view of bytes of 6. Okay, then if we run it, then we'll be going to have it as a memory bytes. So at memory is at this particular location. This is what it's showing. So this is how Python will be taking data as its default whenever you give an input to it. If we want to specify the data type, we can use a constructor function. So before defining a variable itself, we can use a constructor function. So here if I use str string of 20, it will take 20 as string, not as an integer. Okay, so it is taking it as string. If we want to have it as an integer, then int, and if we enter it, it will be taking it as an integer. And if we want to have it as an float, then that's how we go. 8. So whenever you enter a wrong command, it will show it in underline. Okay, so that you will be coming to know at which point we haven't defined the correct manner. Okay, now if I run it, it will show 20.0, which came under category of float. Okay, so let us try complex of 20, and then if we run it, it will be giving you a complex output, that is 20 plus 0j. Okay, and then so in previously we have defined a list with the square brackets, tuple with round brackets, and dictionary with the flower brackets, right? So if you want to if you are confused with those things, you can go with list of apple, banana, and then if you go with cherry, it will automatically, instead of mentioning square brackets, it will automatically take it from the type of data before, that is with the help of constructor, it's going to predefine itself. Similarly, if you want to make it as a tuple, previously we have used only round brackets. Now if we run it, it will be going under category of tuple, right? And similarly range also, range of 6, if we run it, I will be getting it in the range. So now I will go with dictionary, DICT, and then in which I am going to mention it as name, and name as Ram, and his age as 50. And if I run it, what happens? I'll see. Right? So it converts itself into this particular format internally because of using this constructor function. And then we'll go with set and frozen set. So in order to do that, we'll be using a constructor called set, and in which we'll be going to define apple, banana, and cherry. And let us see what output we need to get. So here it has taken it as a class of set because we are using definer, that is a constructor function we are going to use. Similarly, let us say it has a frozen set. And if we run it, it will take it as a frozen set. Okay, now we'll see booleans. Okay, BOOL booleans of 6. Then what output will it give? It's say that it's true. Okay, simply it will take it as a true value. And in order to convert this one into bytes, by PBS bytes of 6. Then if we run it, then we'll be having this particular format: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in that many bytes it has converted. And then if we want to have a byte array, simply enter it. Then if we run it, it will take in this particular manner. Okay, and then a final thing we have left with it is memory view. Binary array is complete, byte array is completed. Memory view we have left with memory view of this one. If we run it, then here we are having an error which says that memory view a bytes like object is required. Okay, memory view of which we need to define bytes of 6. Then now we'll see what output will it give. So here gives a memory view of this. With this, I'll be winding up this video. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.